guys, it's Christine again and welcome back to my channel. So a couple of videos ago I asked you guys to give me questions for a Penn or college related Q&A and I was blown away by the number of questions that I received. I decided to split up the Q&A into two parts. Before I do start this Q&A though, please make sure to click the subscribe button down below. I have a ton of questions, so I'm going to try and be quick with answering them. With that, let's get straight into the video.
Always listen, but I never learn. Should have been hanging on your
So Janie asks, what is your major and what are some of your friends' majors at Penn? So I'm majoring in economics and minoring in consumer psychology, which is a minor between the Wharton School's marketing department as well as the College of Arts and Sciences psychology department. I have friends across all of the 4 different undergraduate schools at Penn, so I have some friends who are, like me, economics majors. I have a lot of friends who are bio or BBB because like pre-med is a thing as well. The people in Wharton, I have a lot of friends who are in finance, marketing, management. I lived in Hill, so that was really close to the engineering school, and so I met a lot of CS, computer science majors, mechanical engineering, and then I also have friends who are in the nursing school. So yeah, I have a lot of friends who are all studying very diverse fields. And then Sally Zhang, I wonder who you are. No, just kidding, she's a really good friend of mine. So Sally asks, why did you choose your major? I have goals post-graduation of going into developmental economics, so I really wanted to be able to apply policy as well as economic theory in order to create these more equitable conditions. Firstly, Amplitude asks, what are your top and best tips for high school students to get into UPenn? And all I can say is focus on your passions, know what you want as a person and follow that. Amplitude also asks, I'm visiting UPenn this summer, what should I visit and do in the information session? It can be really overwhelming just hearing so much about Penn. My advice is just to take it in, just try and listen and appreciate the environment that you're in. And if you do have any questions, make sure to be vocal, ask them to the admissions officer or to the tour guide. Enjoy your day. I hope that the weather will be really nice to you. And then Liz asks, should I take economics in high school if I want to study finance? A lot of people want to study finance. I wouldn't say it's mandatory, but if you have an interest in finance, then you perhaps have an interest in economics as well. So if you're interested in it, why not take the class in high school? Liz also asks, did you take IGCSE or IB? If yes, what subjects? I took the IB. You can find out all about my subjects that I took as well as my stats in my stat video that I made. Wow, I completely could have just like split those up into separate topics, but we're just gonna keep playing along. So Ella Paul asks, which dining plan should I choose? And in total, there are 3 dining options that you can choose from. I started in the middle plan, but I found that I was just eating way too much food. And over time, I also started to get sick of the dining hall food. So I decided to switch into the plan with lower swipes and more dining dollars. And I really don't regret doing that at all. I started eating less. Along with that, I also came to really appreciate the convenience that dining dollars give you. And then Sunshine asks, which dorm has the cleanest bathrooms? And that is Hill College House. It was just newly renovated, so everything's really clean there. She also asks, how do you choose classes and clubs? There is a whole directory on the types of classes that you can take. Often freshmen will take classes that are associated with their major as well as ticking off some of those sectors of knowledge or the fundamental classes. After you've chosen your classes, then you'll go into the system called Penn in Touch, and then you'll go and rank all of your class options, and then this system will be able to generate a timetable for you, and then after a particular time, then you can go in and edit your classes. And in terms of picking clubs, so at the start of fall semester as well as spring semester too, Penn will have a SAC fair, which is the Student Activities and Clubs Fair. And that's where all the clubs will come out, set up booths and tables, and give a chance for students to get to know what all the clubs do, as well as whether they'd like to sign up or not. Aki asks, how common are the pre-orientation programs at Penn and should I do one? I'm not entirely sure on the figures. I personally didn't because I wanted to spend as much time back at home as I could before going to Penn, and also the cost for me was a no-no. So for people who really resonate with the topics of the pre-orientation programs that are being offered, the people that I know who did them had an amazing time and they're still really close with the people that they went to pre-orientation programs with. And then Sally again asks, what is orientation like? And orientation is honestly the best time of college, where you just don't have any other pressures, and it's just a chance for you to immerse yourself in a really social, lively atmosphere and get to know the campus as well as the people in your class. There's like a toga party, a party at the museum, programs where you just like get to know the services as well as how to best transition into college. I would just recommend really making the most of orientation, get to know the people around you, not just sticking with the people in your hall, and also try something new. And then Claudia Hamilton asks, what advice would you give to a rising freshman at Penn? And I think that's really fitting with the last video that I just made, where that was me sharing the 5 lessons that I learned as a freshman. I think if I could redo freshman year, I would have really loved to have known all of those 5 lessons, so I really recommend you watching that video. Yeah, that's very similar with the question that Dumb Hi asks, can you give some tips on getting started in uni? Go and watch that video, but also don't stress out about too much. Like, it's only your first year. Even if you make some mistakes along the way, you still have time to learn from those mistakes and do something different about it. And then Bailey Campbell asks, what are a few things you were nervous about before attending Penn that you shouldn't have worried about? If I'm honest, I was pretty nervous by the fact that I didn't attend Quaker Days or Connected. I had seen on Facebook as well as like GroupMe and Instagram that people were already making friends with each other because they had met each other in person before. I had been with the same group of friends for the last like 7 years of my life. Making friends was not a very familiar thing to me anymore. I was like, how do I even start a conversation? How do I even make friends? But as soon as I got there, everyone was really friendly, and I was just like completely in awe of how people just really wanted to get to know you, and at the same time I did as well, and so that led on to really great friendships. And then Sally also asks, how hard is Penn compared to high school? Academically, I think it's not too bad. The only thing that's different, it's taught a lot faster and you don't spend that many hours for that one class per week. It's really up to you about being able to be disciplined with the way that you review and try and consolidate all the information that you're learning. Another thing is extracurriculars, especially the pre-professional clubs, was really different to the way that I expected it to be. They were a lot more competitive, and I just really wanted to be able to explore all of these different academic routes. Definitely faced a lot of failures, but it allowed me to become more resilient, I think. So there was definitely some good that I could take out of that situation.
Go from all into nothing.
Henriota has asked, have you seen the CIS facilities? What were your impressions of them? And I'm really sorry, but I haven't seen the CIS facilities. I can't give you too much insight into that, sorry. And then Aki asks, how is the food at the new Houston Hall stands? Pretty darn good. Definitely a lot better than the dining halls. There are options including like a Japanese station, pizza, pasta, burgers, sandwiches, salad, as well as a cafe there. So definitely a plethora of options for you to choose from. I've gone through around about half of the questions, and so I'm going to leave the rest of them for part 2 of my Penn College Q&A. And in those topics, I'll be covering the people and community, extracurriculars, as well as adjusting to life and career paths as well. So I really hope you guys found this video helpful. I love the support that you guys give me. So if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys in part 2 of this video. See you soon. Bye.